Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh, Shem Yahshua, Shem Makakudah, Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of you elect out there, Shalom to you all. I'm going to title this video, And the two went unto it and set themselves up to reign. And the two went unto it and set themselves up to reign. I'm going to make this short. To really get a full, better understanding, you have to go to chapter 11 of 2nd Ezra's. But I want you to hear something. And you got to be sure as to what you're teaching. You just can't willy-nilly wing it and just teach anything, just make up stuff. We were listening to Bishop. You know, this is in the spirit of Galatians 6 and 1 on down. We were listening to him last night, and he did, well, here it is right here. So he was going good. He was going good. You know, most of the stuff that he teaches is good. A lot of stuff that he learned from myself and the other elders, the 7, because he was under me. So a lot of stuff he learned from me, but stuff that I taught him, I was taught by them over me. So what I taught him, he was taught to me, was given to me. So anyway, this is lamenting our lost people. 3 hours, almost 3 hours and 50 minutes long, and this is 1 hour, 59 minutes, almost 2 hours in. So just about half. Okay, so you see here on the screen, and I really wanted to go into, and I may even go into that as well. I may even go into 2nd Ezra chapter 11. But let's see where the Spirit takes me. Because he made a statement. I'd like you to listen so you don't say I'm putting words in his mouth. And he's guilt. Now, he teaches that if you're not written in the book of life, that you're going to be damned forever in a eternal flame, you know. And I'm going to say this about Sakari. You know, Sakari pretty much says what we not so many words, we flow with the spirit at IUIC. Well, the spirit at IUIC is of the spirit of error. So that makes you the spirit of error. If you were really a part of them and you stand with them, you would correct them on their things, and you're not doing that. The scriptures say open rebuke is better than secret love. You know? So that's a whole another subject. You're not correcting these guys. You're not telling these guys about hell. Hell is not scriptural. You believe that. You know that. The MOTB is a C-hip. You know that. They don't know that. You know, for you to say, well, we stand with them, and that's like me standing with the Roman Catholics. It's like GMS stands with the Roman Catholic Church. People say, what the hell is wrong with y'all? So anyway, so we're right here, almost 2 hours in.
Great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. And so long time.
Now it says over the compass of the earth, they'll say the earth is talking about the known earth, the oikumeni, the gay or the gia, the geo. No, it's talking about the earth. Give me a second. Please forgive me for that. Please forgive me for that. Let me hit this again.
Dwelt he upon the earth with deceit.
Y'all see that right there? So it's talking about the fourth beast. Look at chapter 12, verse 10 to 12.
Second Ezra chapter 12, verse 10. And he said unto me, this is the interpretation of the vision. The eagle, whom thou sawest come up from the sea, is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel.
Write this down, Daniel 7, verse 7. That's what he's talking about. Go ahead.
But it was...
So you got people that's saying that it's talking about America and it's a world system. No, it's talking Second Ezra 11 and Second Ezra 12 is referring to the pagan Roman Empire of 2,000 years ago. Not America. It has nothing to do with America.
Was not expounded unto him.
But it was not expounded unto him. Now, in the same chapter, read verse 1 to 3 to give the image of it. Go ahead. Because it told you the eagle in verse 11. The eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea. Now, verse 1.
And it came to pass, while the lion spake these words unto the eagle I saw.
Hey,
the lion represents Yahweh Shai. It's a vision.
Give me the image of the lion. Yes, come on. Read again, I'm sorry.
And it came to pass, while the lion spake these words unto the eagle,
The eagle is a Roman Empire, the pagan Roman Empire, not the last leg of the Roman Empire, not NATO, not the EU, not America, not Canada. America and Canada are members of the NATO. NATO nations, some of the EU nations are NATO nations and vice versa. Like Turkey is a member of NATO but not a member of the EU, so you can understand. That's why it speaks about the 7 heads, the 10 horns, and so forth, the crowns on the head. Because some of them were EU nations and NATO nations. Some of them were just EU nations. Some of them were just NATO nations.
I saw, and behold, the head that remained and the 4 wings appeared no more. And the 2 went unto it. And
let's look that up now. And you're going to listen to what he's going to say. And he's guilty of adding to the book. Or taking away from the book. Taking away from the book and adding to the book. It says that if you take away or add to the book in Revelation 22, 18, and 19, that you will be, well, when you go to, I believe it's Revelation 19, that anybody that's not found in the book will wind up in the lake of fire. So, based on what he's teaching it clearly wrong, and I'm going to prove that. All you got to do is swallow his pride and next week say I was wrong. Apostle Tahar corrected me to this thing because you're guilty. You're in danger of the judgment of hellfire. And you say that if you're not found written in the book, you're gonna suffer hellfire forever. Revelation 22, 18, and 19. If you add or take away or add to the book, the Most High said He's gonna take you out of the book of life. So if you don't humble and correct yourself, you're going to wind up in a hell, which there's no such thing as hell, There's no such thing as a spiritual hell that you burn in forever. But if that was the case, he's going to wind up there forever. So now let me read this. And it came to pass, whilst the lion, which represents Yahweh Shai, spake these words unto the eagle, the Roman Empire, I saw, and behold, the head that remained, and the 4 wings appeared no more. And the 2 wings went unto it, and set themselves up to reign. And their kingdom was small and full of uproar. And I'm going to tell you who these 2 are. I'll go into who the 4, the head, in a minute. So let me come back over here.
Set themselves up to reign, and their kingdom was small and full of uproar.
Those last 2 wings was Gog and Magog, which has not happened yet. Go ahead.
I don't know where he got, and he said Gog and Magog, and he kept reading. He didn't explain. He didn't link up anything that proved that it was God. The scriptures say prove all things and hold fast to that which is good. Now maybe Sakari can help him if they know the breakdown, because I know that they used to. I'm pretty sure they changed it. They came to the census. Well, if you don't, just drop me a line. It was Hakar mainly that said that part of the breakdown of Second Ezra 11 and Second Ezra 12 has something to do with the kings of the Byzantine Empire. And I kept asking them certain script to break down a certain precept within. It was either, this was years ago, Second Ezra 11 or Second Ezra 12, and he ignored me. He never answered back. When I kept asking if the Byzantine Empire was a part of this, then what does this particular verse mean? I forgot what the verse was. I forgot whether it was in chapter 11 or chapter 12. But I believe it was the 28th verse, which I'll kind of look and I'll see if I can remember. And he ducked me. He ducked me. Never answered the question. So I hope you guys changed it. And if you did change it, please drop a line to Bishop Nathaniel. Tell him that he's going off, and he going to wind up in the lake of fire.
And I saw, and behold, they appeared no more, and the whole body of the eagle was burnt.
So this is destruction of this eagle of America, okay?
It has nothing to do with America. He went from the two wings, which is Gog and Magog, to America. Has nothing to do with America. Has absolutely nothing. It seems like it does, but it has absolutely nothing to do with America. And the two were not Gog and Magog. I'm gonna show you who they are. Come back over here. And this is the Roman Empire. This is when it says, and behold, the head that remained and the four wings appeared no more. And the four wings represent Vitalis, Vespasian, what's the other two? Galba and Otho. I mean, I can go more into it into the 11th chapter. It said, and behold, the head that remaineth and the four wings appeared no more, and the two remaining went unto it and set themselves up to reign, and their kingdom was small and filled of uproar. Now these two represent the sons of Vespasian, which is Titus, General Titus, and his brother Domitian. And what happened after them? There were no more of these Edomites that ruled. It was Jake. It was Nerva. He was the first Jake to rule. He was considered one of the good emperors. And I went through this before. Now let me do this. Let me jump over here. And there was a major fire at that time during the reign of Nero. And this is during this time period of Nero, the year of the four Caesars, Vespasian, Titus, and Domitian. So now let me do this. Oh, sorry. See, we did a complete breakdown on both of these chapters. This was back sometime in 2014, so, and we had it on YouTube, but they took down those pages, so we lost it. A lot of research you got to do. I'm going to just jump around. Alright, the 12 feathered wings and 3 heads represent the Roman Empire from Julius Caesar up to Domitian, as I did in previous videos. But the heads were at rest. The head in the midst was greater than the other, yet rested it with the residue. Now that represents Julius Caesar. He became the greater out of the 3, and the other 2 were Crassus and Pompey, if I'm not mistaken, which was a triumvirate. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. Let me do this let me do this here. Bear with me for a minute. The first triumvirate of the Roman Empire. That's what I'm reading about. The first triumvirate was a political alliance between between three powerful men in the Roman, and they were like friends, but they were not friends. They were kind of jockeying to get that position. Roman Republic, Julius Caesar, Crassus, and Pompey. Gaius Julius Caesar, which he became the prominent head, Marcus Licinius Crassus, and Gaius, I believe this is silent, Gnaeus Pompey. Okay? So when you look up the word triumvirate, let's look up the word triumvirate. Triumvirate. In ancient Rome, a group of three men holding power. That's all you need. The first triumvirate, coalition of Julius Caesar, Pompey, Crassus in 60 BC. The second triumvirate was formed by Octavian, which is, you know him as Augustus Caesar, Lepidus, and Antony, or Mark Antony. But he became the prominent eagles that became one of their heads. Julius Caesar was one of the heads. That's why it mentions eagles. I mean, it mentions feathers, wings, and heads. So you can understand. So now let's come back over here. See, Bishop Nate will never go into the whole complete breakdown because he doesn't know it. So he's guessing. That's why he said Gog and Magog. And you heard him say it. I didn't put words in his mouth. And I beheld, and out of the feathers, different people jockeying for position in the Roman Empire. There grew other contrary feathers, and they became little and small. But the heads were at rest. Julius, Pompey, and Crassus. The head in the midst, which was Julius, was greater than the other, yet rested it with the residue, meaning it fell asleep, it died, and it was going to come back. So Julius came back as a Vespasian. But let the heads be served for the last, right? That's the heads that to be served for the last is Vespasian, Titus, and Domitian. Then after that, Jake took over. That's why Esau is afraid now, because Jake's got some power, man. Got a lot of top lawyers and business people, people in the military, and they know the history. They know what we did to them over 2,000 years ago. And I beheld, and lo, the voice went out of our heads, but from the midst of a body, which is the Roman Empire, has nothing to do with America. It speaks about 8 contrary feathers, which we mentioned 4 of them. Pompey, what was it? Pompey and Crassus, and then you had another 2 which was Anthony, Mark Anthony, and what was the other one? What was the other one? Octavia, which is Augustus, Lepidus, and Anthony. Those were the two. Those were four of the eight contrary feathers, because they didn't sit up as emperors, but they were close. They were right, on either side of the emperor, Julius and Augustus, so you can understand. Okay, and the rest of the eight is a whole other subject that goes into Galba, Ortho, and Vitalis, and then there was one more. Has nothing to do with America. Has nothing to do with Gog and Magog. After this I look and behold, 12 feathers appeared no more, nor the two little feathers. And there was no more upon the eagle's body, but 3 heads that rested and 6 little wings. It says, then saw I also that 2 little feathers divided themselves from the 6. So then you had 4 and you had 2 that remained under the head. The head is ultimately Julius Caesar coming back as Vespasian. That was upon the right side, for the 4 continued in their place. And I beheld, and lo, the feathers that were under the wing thought to set up themselves and to have the rule. And I beheld, and lo, there was one set up, but shortly it appeared no more. That's I believe that's, I'm gonna double check that. The year of the 4 emperors. So I'm going to give you the order right
68
here.
to 69 CE. According to study.com, during the year of the 4 emperors, there were 4 emperors in the span of the year 68 to 69 CE. They include, in order, Servius Sulpicius Galba, Marcus Silvius
Galba was
Otho,
the first.
Aulus
Otho was the
Vitellius, and
second.
Titus Flavius Vespasianus.
Okay, good. Thank you. 4 emperors span of year. It was 68, 69, meaning inside of a year. So it was kind of like in the middle of 08 going into the middle of 68 going in the middle of 69. So it was within a 12-month span, which covered 2 years. And this was right after, what was his name? Nero had committed suicide. Nero's back again. That's Donald J. Trump. They say they included, in order, Servius Sulpicius Galba. We call him Galba. Marcus Silvius Otho. And I believe Otho was a Jake. That's when we started getting up into power. Vitalis and Titus Flavius Vespasian. Those were the 4. The one that came up on top was Vespasian. So now let's come back to. See, Bishop Nate can't break this down to you, but I'm helping him. I'm being a brother. Okay, let's read this again. And my memory, I forgot all this stuff, so I got to get it back. Okay, and I beheld, and lo, the 2 that remained thought also in himself to reign. And when they so thought, behold, there awakened one of the heads, which is Vespasian, which was Julius Caesar coming back in reincarnation, that were at rest. Namely, it was it namely it that was in the midst, which was Julius Caesar, for that was greater than the other two, Pompey and Crassus. And there was three heads. It says heads with an S. And then I saw that the two other heads were joined with it, and behold, the head was turned with them that were with it, and did eat up. Now this is talking about Vespasian. It's not talking about Julius anymore. And behold, the head was turned with them that were with it, and did eat up the two feathers. Now, the two feathers that were eaten up, they'll say Otho, they'll say Galba and Otho, but it was Otho that committed suicide. But actually it was Vespasian that plotted through the patrician guards, whatever you call it. Is that the name? The guards, the highest rank. They killed a lot of these. Help me out, y'all. I think it's patrician guards, if I'm not mistaken. Through the order behind the scenes, it was a conspiracy that he had Galba killed and Otho killed. I'm sorry, Galba killed and Vitellius killed, and Otho committed suicide. So it says two, ate up the two, under the wing that would have reign. So Galba was the first. If you go into the history, he reigned for a couple of months. And then after him was Otho. Otho committed suicide, and then Vitellius came in there, and he was also killed through a conspiracy at the hands of Vespasian, right? It said, but this head, which is Vespasian, put the whole earth in fell. In other words, this is the biggest time, the span of the Roman Empire, and bear rule in it over all those that dwelt upon the earth, the known earth. They didn't have control over the northern kingdom, which with much oppression. So this is the Roman Empire during the time of 70 AD, 69 AD, 71 AD, and it had the governance of the world more than all the wings that had been. So they took over more, they created more provinces, right? 33rd verse. And after this I beheld, and lo, the head that was in the midst suddenly appeared no more, like as the wing, because he died. Vespasian died. But there remain the two heads. They're also known as eagle wings and so forth. Some of them were wings that became heads, which also, now these two represent the two sons of Vespasian, which also in like sort ruled upon the earth, the known earth, and over those that dwell therein. And I beheld, and lo, the head upon the right side devoured it that was upon the left side. So they say, the certain scholars say that the younger one had the other one set up, but some of them say Titus died of natural causes. See, they would set a guy up to kill him, and then they'll be talking good about him when he's dead. Oh, he was a great man, but he was the one that set him up to get killed. So scholars argue about that. It says, then I heard a voice which said unto me, look before thee, and consider the thing that thou seest. Okay, let me see something. Like I said, I'm not going to go into this whole thing, but I kind of gave you a push start, so now you can know how to break it down. I gave you a reference in time. So right here, you had two wings that looked to set up themselves, and one was taken down. And the one that was left was Domitian, and then after that, he was taken out the picture, and then Jake started ruling. Then you had two realms. You had the west of the Roman Empire on the west and Roman Empire on the east. The Eastern Roman Empire was ruled by Jake. Byzantine Empire came out of the Eastern Roman Empire, which Jake was ruling. And we're going to rule back again, but this time through the Most High. So now let's come back over here to chapter 12. Now he did mention the 11th verse. Yes, it's the same vision that Daniel saw, but it was not expounded unto him. Behold, the days come, there shall rise up a kingdom upon earth, and it shall be feared above all kingdoms that were before it. That's the Roman Empire. And the same shall 12 kings reign. They call them feathers, they call them heads, one after another. Julius, Augustus, Tiberius, on down the line. And there's the proof, whereof the second shall begin to reign, which was Augustus, and shall have more time than any of the 12. He ruled for, some scholars say, 41 years. It would have to be closer to 45 years. Because after him, Tiberius ruled for about 20 to 21 years. But this has nothing to do with Gog and Magog, man. It said, and behold, the head that remained, and the four wings appeared no more, and the two went unto it, and set themselves up to reign, and their kingdom was small and full of uproar. That's when they had the fear of this kingdom falling. People don't want to deal with Rome anymore. The people found out that the Roman rulership was corrupt as hell. Plus, they were going back and forth with the Christians and Jake and the Jews. So this right here has nothing to do with no goddamn Gog and Magog. This is talking about Titus, the Roman general Titus, which became Caesar, ruler, and his younger brother Domitian. That's what it's talking about, Bishop Nathaniel. So get it right, okay? We're just looking out for you, all right, brother? Or Bishop. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. On to the next one, shalom.